Welcome to the Deakin University Senior Women's Match of the Round out here at H.E Parker Reserve. It is Heathmont taking on Waverley Blues. Big Division 2 clash for round 8 of the 2026 season, 3rd versus 4th. I'm Ryan Long, joined by Ray Baird, as well as the Heathmont Senior Women's coach, Adam Sullivan. Adam, great to have you on board. Always good to have a chat, and a big day for the club. Plenty of games out here at H.E Parker, including the development side right now.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. What is it? 4 games of footy today.
Yeah.
The 19s merging with Bayswater. They're out wherever Bayswater are playing today. But big day of footy. Good to see the girls out there on top at the moment, early in the 4th.
Absolutely. And talk about the season as a whole, of course. Now we're in round 8, so you have played every side in the division. You've come up after a premiership. What's your read on the division now, getting a look at every team? You're sitting very comfortably in the top 3, 6-1, so it's been probably a fantastic start. Is it what you sort of expected? Has it been a little bit different? How have you sort of seen as the season has gone on?
I mean, look, yeah, in terms of obviously how we went last year, I think we had high hopes coming up to Division 2 this year. Obviously, you see what Mooroolbark's been able to do the last 3 years in a row. We thought, we would be able to sort of replicate that in a sense. Obviously, coming up 6-1, you don't really expect that sort of a start. As with last year, you don't expect to go undefeated either. But yeah, look, a good start to the year. Obviously, result-wise, we've probably a good place to be. We've got a lot of work to do still, and haven't really been happy with how we're looking on field the last sort of 4 games. Injury plagued as a program. I think we had 16 or 17 on the injury list in rounds 6 and 7. Yep. So. So it's still a long way to go, but again, that's the beauty of footy. You've got 2 halves to the season, and hopefully we can keep building on that 6-1 start.
Is that been almost a somewhat of a blessing in disguise to have last week as the bye, obviously with a lot of players out of the lineup in previous weeks before that, and you've been able to bank up the wins, which has been good, but did that come at a good time, and did you do anything differently during that week and sort of let the girls have a bit more of a different sort of week compared to what usually is on the track?
Yeah, look, probably came at a good time. When there's injuries and, same girls are showing up, it gets a little bit stale. So I put it to the players, the Monday night of bye week, we had a training session at BFT in Bayswater. And then on the Monday night, I said to the girls, what do you want to do Wednesday? They wanted to come to training. Ended up, I think, a bit of World Cup fever, played soccer for 45 minutes and just had a bit of fun. They had a dress-up night. So, yeah, it was just a bit of fun, bit of light-hearted mood. Even this week, we sort of kept that going. I think, obviously, towards the end of that half of the season, like I said, it was a bit stale. So, just keeping the energy up.
Adam, winning the premiership and coming up, it was always important that you got off to a very good start in the first couple of games. And I see where your opponents today, Waverley Blues, you held them goalless in the last quarter and you got away with a 1-goal win. And then you knocked off Blackburn as well. So getting off to a good start has set your season up. So now that the winters sort of start coming in and it's getting a bit cold at training, how enthusiastic are the girls now?
Yeah, look, the girls, they're a great bunch. Pre-season, we had the senior leadership group sort of come to me saying they want more involvement on training nights. So Wednesday nights, we have 2 of our captains running a running block. Again, that's not really good for the mood, but you know what? It's player voted, and they do a good job at that. And then we also make sure the leadership group have a drill they can run during the week. So again, it's just about keeping the energy up. They're a pretty close group, and I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, a big game today for Hayden Neal, her 100th game for the club. So you obviously will mention that before the game, and the girls will be up and about for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Hayden, she's had a bit of involvement over the last 3 years since I came along. Played in that prelim loss to Coldstream a couple of years ago. And then, unfortunately didn't play a senior game last year, but she was a name that we kept sort of questioning. But obviously due to numbers and having a pretty healthy side all year last year, it was hard to sort of get those players in. But yeah, she's played every game that she's been available this year, and then obviously just getting back from Bali this week. So hopefully she's nice and tan. She's nice and tan. So that, they say look good, feel good, play good. So yeah, hopefully she has a good one.
Yeah, and winning that flag last year, and then you've gone out and you got Violet Maletta. I mean, she's a fantastic player. We all know how good she is. So you were very lucky. How did that come about that you got her?
Yeah, look, I think we identified her obviously with our reserves playing Templestowe last year as a real sort of asset. She's very driven for a 17-year-old. Obviously has ambitions, and we thought that coming up to Division 2, we'd be able to help her again continue that path and really help develop her as a footballer.
Now, looking at your opposition today, you're obviously done a bit of homework into them. Who is it that you're going to have to look out for?
I mean, you've got to make sure Peacock doesn't really have a say throughout today. I think as well, Michaela Miller down forward, she obviously will take some forward ruck. She's got the ability to grab it out and have a shot around her body. I think without taking anything away from Blackburn or Montrose, obviously they've got some pretty big players down forward. I do feel like Waverley probably bat the deepest in their forward line in this division.
Yeah, certainly they are a good attacking side. And just a couple of those younger players who've come up from the juniors or in recent years. Obviously, Miletta's come from Templestowe, still very young herself, but the Simpsons have been so important. Molnar's, I think, still under 18 girls this season.
Yep.
How crucial has been obviously the connection from the junior to the senior program, but being able to get these players into senior footy as much as you can?
Yeah, look, it's been massive, and it's been a real goal of mine since I came down. Previously they might not have utilised the under-18s as much as they could have, but again, they're the future of the club, and it's about identifying those players early so that they do stick around when it comes to making that decision. Do they go on with senior footy, or again, a lot of people get lost in the process of transitioning to senior footy. So.
Absolutely. Adam Sullivan, always great to be able to speak to you. A big game here today, 3rd versus 4th. Another win would really lock yourselves up in the top 3 for another week. But all the best today. We're looking forward to seeing how the Jets go.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for having me. Good luck with the call.
Thank you, Adam. Senior coach of the Heathmont Football Club, has done a fantastic job. Premiership coach last year, Ray. And the side, I think, coming into this year, we didn't know... I think we all probably thought they might be a good finals team, but to be 6-1 going into the break is a massive.
Oh, that's a very good record, isn't it? And as I said, the first 2 games when you come up are very important, and they got off to 2 good wins in those 2 games, and then that basically sets your season up. That's right.
Absolutely, and jumping straight on, First season as the senior coach. Great to have you on board, Lucy. What's the vibe going into this one? Obviously, another big game against another really good contender in Heathmont. I'm sure the girls are looking forward to it.
Yeah, they've been pretty pumped this week. Obviously, round 1, it was a really tightly contested game, and unfortunately, Heathmont played a little bit better on the day than we did. So the girls worked really hard. We've improved throughout the season, and as have Heathmont. So I'm expecting a pretty highly contested tight game today.
Absolutely. The season itself, for you coming into the role, obviously playing at the club, how have you found it? Obviously, I'm sure you know these girls, really, really well. How have you found it as a coach this season?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different role for me.
Yep.
I've played footy for a really long time, so it's the first time I haven't put on the boots for a lot of years. I won't say how old I am, but it's been interesting.
Yep.
You find it's really hard to, not control stuff from outside the boundary, not get on and want to help, but, hopefully a little bit of my experience, I can share with the girls and improve us moving forward. So, yeah, it's been an interesting transition. I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the girls have really improved since the start of the season, so hopefully I'm sharing a little bit of knowledge.
Yep, absolutely. And you spoke about that first game against Heathmont, which was a really tight game. I think it was 6 points that separated the 2 sides. What's been the biggest improvement for your club going forward since then? Been in a really good spot, a great win against Beaconsfield. Just gives you a bit of breathing room inside the top 4 as well. But what's been the big improvements across the season?
Look, I think we've had continuity in the last few weeks. A lot of our key players have played consistent games together, and they're really getting used to playing together, and working around structures around stoppage was a really big focus for us since round 1. I think we congested the footy a fair bit round 1, and we've really worked on that in the last few weeks. And having a couple of wins in a row, especially against Beaconsfield, I think we saw that spacing and the flow and forward handballs. So we've been working on that. So I think we've really improved that since round 1, and hopefully we'll show that today.
Yeah. You've had 3 players return to the club this year: Russell, Richards, and Sanders. What's the story behind those 3? What were they missing? What was the reason?
Look, Abby Russell has been, she's she did a shoulder in 2024 and unfortunately missed the whole 2025 season, and she was runner-up in our last couple of BNFs before that. So she was a really big loss last season, and she's come back, really putting her body on the line with a shoulder. And the other two girls played juniors for us, and they've come back into this year, haven't played senior footy, so it's really great to see the junior program fall onto senior women's footy.
Yeah, along as your side has also, but the opposition today, there's a couple of key players that you really have to keep an eye on. Who is it that you really got to highlight in the opposition?
Look, for me, I think we focused on that too much in round one. I think we did too much research on the opponents, on the oppo. So I've really said to the girls this week that we're trying not to focus on the oppo this week and really focus on ourselves. I think we get a little bit distracted when we're looking at other teams' structure rather than ours. So I've made it a big focus this week to concentrate on what we control and not what the other teams control. So we haven't really mentioned players this week, to be fair. We've really concentrated on our own game.
And obviously, one big strength is, and Adam's mentioned it before about the Waverley Blues, is their scoring power and your ability to hit the scoreboard. Obviously, a fair bit of it, Peacock when on her day can kick 7 or 8, but it does look like you've got quite a few options that can hit the scoreboard and really get on top of a side, when going forward.
Yeah, look, in the last couple of years, Stephanie has, been a leading goal cooker for us, and so has Elise Hall. But fortunately, this year we've had a lot of mids come through the forward line, and our mids have managed to get on the board, which we've really worked on in the pre-season. Getting our mids forwards and running through. So that's really impressive, and we can spread the scoring a little bit more rather than having a couple of key focuses. We've had Michaela Miller come in halfway sort of through last year, and she's proved to be, a really great mark and puts a lot of forward pressure and keeps the ball in the forward line. So, I think we're still finding that balance with our mid-forward rotation, but it is working. We're seeing our mids get on the scoreboard, which is great.
And a couple of 50th games, so both Bishop and Hall, as you mentioned just before, really good servants of the club. Can you speak a little bit about them and their involvement at the Waverley Blues and how they've obviously continued to prove each year and are really, really important parts of this side?
Yeah, those two are fantastic leaders around our club. Elise Hall has been, I actually played in a premiership with her at Donvale in 2018, so we've had a long footy career together, and she's been a stalwart down at full forward for the last few years for the Waverley Blues and a really fantastic leader. And Amelia Bishop, she stepped up as vice captain this year. She's a fantastic footballer. She's a contested beast, and she's really improved her leadership skills this year, and I'm super proud of her. Hopefully both of them put in a good show today. Absolutely.
It's a big day for them and for the side. A win here would really help your chances of playing finals this season. Had a great start to the year. Lucy, all the best today. We're looking forward to seeing the Waverley Blues in action, and hopefully for your sake, another win.
Hey, let's hope so. Thanks, boys. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Lucy.
Thanks,
a fantastic job coming into the role this season, and the Waverley Blues currently sitting 4th, Ray, and a win would certainly give some breathing space between them and, of course, Beaconsfield in 5th, and also keep the potential opportunity of a top 2 spot alive as well.
Yeah, I think we're in for a great game because, from what I read in both these sides, they're fairly even across the board, so and you go back to that round 1 clash, that proved that. So I think it's just going to be a pretty tight contest for probably most of the game, but then maybe one will just get the break that they need and just, get that margin. But we're in for a great game.
Oh, 100%. And when you look at, this season, I think the top 2 in Blackburn and Montrose have been superb. Heathmont share the same record with 6-1. The Waverley Blues have been a final side now for multiple years in a row. And then it's maybe a little bit of a gap. Beaconsfield's starting to close that one. But for me, this is your top 4.
Look, the top 2 sides, when they're so dominant in any football competition, they're vulnerable when it comes to finals because once that whistle blows for the finals, everyone starts off even again, no matter what's happened during the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, we're currently here at H.E Parker Reserve with the development side of the Jets and the Wantirna South development side going head-to-head. There's only a couple minutes left, and it's a close one there. The Jets currently lead 4-4-28 to Wantirna South 3-4-22. So a 6-point lead for the Jets. And obviously, when you look at, and Wantirna South's another example, but we'll talk about the Jets since we're here.
Yeah.
To have that second team has been massive for the club. They both played in grand finals last year, Div 3 and Div 5. The Div 3 went undefeated and won the flag. But is this the trend, for success in the senior women's program? Is it to be able to have the numbers to field two sides, because you look at a lot of the top sides in Premier Division, they've got two teams.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, Ryan, because then if you do have injuries or out-of-form players in your top side, you've got ready-made players to come in. Now, if you haven't got that second side, and you've got, let's say you've got 5 extra players, then you've got to rotate those players, and some weeks players aren't getting a game because of rotations and all that. But when you've got that second side, players then can play in that second side if they're not selected in the first side. And I think that's a challenge for those players, because, you know, you put the challenge up to those second players, because you say, well, you know, you play good and you'll be put up, and you've got to put them up if they deserve a spot into that first side.
Yeah, it's always that competitive balance, and then obviously the side players in the top side know they have to continue to perform to guarantee their spot, particularly as we get closer to a final series. But this game almost about to come to a close out here at H.E, and of course we'll keep you updated with all the scores around the grounds in the senior women's competition this morning as we start to creep into winter. Ray, we've got the clouds above us, don't look exactly friendly. So potentially some rain in the second half. I know we're going to get some in the afternoon.
I think those clouds are a bit
going to hold
high.
off.
We might get it later this afternoon. Well, we will get it later this afternoon.
Yep.
But to me, they're a bit high for us to get it during the next game, in my opinion.
Please don't mention rain.
I was about to throw to Kate Green on the boundary, who is with us today. Kate, a big game between two really good sides, and you saw Heathmont earlier in the season, and we're really impressed with what they were able to do against another quality outfit in Blackburn.
The Blackburn Heathmont game was really great. I mean, Heathmont came from behind, and I know we're going to be mentioning her among a lot of other players, but Violet Maletta really was the key for Heathmont turning around from being considerably behind to then, you know, catching up and then eventually winning the game. Waverley Blues we haven't seen for a while. I don't think since finals last year.
Finals last year.
So I'm very keen to see what the Waverley Blues are looking like under the coaching of Lucy. I feel that, again, you said, you know, they've played multiple finals, so they're definitely a team not to be underestimated. But, this is going to be a really interesting game between the two of them.
Yeah, that's right. As the Division 5 game comes to a close and Heathmont win that one against Wantirna South, 4-4-28 to 3-4-22. So they're in a pretty good position at the moment in Division 5. And, of course, this game, we're not too far away with the two sides about to run out onto the field. We will get to tips in a moment, but we'll sort of keep you updated with some of those scores. Of course, plenty of games happening this morning as well as last night, which was a game out at Mulgrave Reserve and Premier Division, with the Hawks getting across the line over the Eastern Devils pretty comfortably, 14 goals, 15, 99 to 2-1, 13. So a night game out there at Mulgrave Reserve. Big win for the Hawks as they consolidate their spot inside the top 4. Very healthy percentage of 250. So they're in a very good position as the Waverley Blues make their way out onto the field as we get closer to, of course, today's game. Also this morning, the Eastern Devils and Bronya, second side in Division 4, played. Bronya, another big win, 102 to zip over the Eastern Devils. So two big wins for the Hawks this morning. As the Waverley Blues in the clash strip, Ray, run out onto the field, the white clash strip, always a good jumper for them, and looking forward to seeing how they face a very good side in Heathmont.
Yeah, well, look, as I said, these sides are evenly matched. It's going to be a ripper of a game, and I just think that, whoever... Centre breaks are going to be very important, and both these sides have got very good ruck people. So if whoever can get on top in that ruck and get your midfield going out of that centre square, that's going to go a long way. Look, the wind's playing a little bit, maybe down that bottom end, but it's not huge. Probably only one, maybe possibly 2 goals advantage.
Yep.
So we'll just see how that plays out, of course, whoever wins the toss and which way they kick.
Yeah, absolutely. As the Jets senior side make their way out onto H.E Parker Reserve. Love coming to H.E Parker, Ray. Absolutely love it. But the parking, if you're coming down here today, be prepared to spend 40 minutes in the car park trying to find a spot.
Well, you've just got to time it right. If you get here when, the basketball game's just finished and there's a whole huge lot of cars leave, you're lucky enough to get one. But it's a great sporting complex. The same as Kilsyth. We're very spoiled in the eastern suburbs. We look at the standard of the grounds, for football, for cricket or whatever, and you've got all these basketball stadiums around and, and a bit of netball's played and all that sort of stuff. So we're very spoiled in the eastern suburbs.
Yeah, certainly right. The Oz Kickers, we're also out on the back oval here at H.E Parker as well. So been a busy day or busy morning.
Bit of road works up there on Canterbury Road, so it's a mirror maze to get into the place off Canterbury Road. But we're here, Ryan, and we're ready to go in a minute. Yeah,
certainly right. As the wind starts to pick up, it's going to be potentially some tough conditions out there in terms of the wind. We'll get Kate's thoughts on that in just a moment. But of course, yes, as a finals venue too, this has been the home of the senior women's grand final day and the final series for a number of years now. One of my favourite days coming out here on grand final day and watching all the grand finals. Kate, who's making her way out onto the field as well. What are the conditions like at ground level? Can feel the wind up here. Is it as strong down at ground level?
It actually is. It is currently blowing from the clubhouse across the field towards the netball courts. So it's either going to assist you down the to the left goal kicking area, and it's not so much going to assist you down towards the tree line at the opposite side on the right. The ground is firm, slightly soggy in the centre, but otherwise good conditions for a footy.
Kate, we saw in the previous game that you can score goals at either end in this weather conditions.
Yeah, you can. But just interesting thing with some grounds, there always seems to be a particular scoring end for both teams. And for this H.E Parker ground, it's always that goal line that's to the right on the screen.
Yeah.
It just seems to be the goal scoring end rather than the opposite.
Well, I guess when you go back to those, obviously remember the grand finals, most of the goals are kicked on that, as you said, your right side of your screen if you're watching home on YouTube. So we'll see how that plays and who kicks that way in the first quarter. That will be important. The umpires
Ryan,
still
not only goals kicked to the right side of your screen, but they're in that left pocket from the right hand side. The ball seems to go to that left pocket when they're kicking down that way. But you can kick goals from over there where the cricket nets are.
Yeah, that's right.
There seems to be a ball magnet down there drawing it in.
Just another score around the ground this morning as well. An 8:40 a.m. start out at Waverley Reserve. North Ringwood Red continue their undefeated season so far. They're big winners over Churnside Park, 87-8. Of course, the siren sounds. We're still waiting for those umpires to get out onto ground as we get closer to a start. We're running a little bit behind today, of course, but of course there was a game prior to this one. Big day out here at H.E Parker Reserve. The Heathmont Senior Men's also playing out here. For us in the Senior Men's broadcast, we're off to Edwin Flack Reserve for Berwick versus Vermont later today. That's a big clash. You'll be able to catch on EFNL Facebook and YouTube, as well as Radio Eastern 98.1 FM. Just
a quick update on the umpires. The umpires for this game that we're just waiting for are also the umpires from the previous game. And Clarkey said we just needed to give him a few minutes to catch his breath.
Doubling up, Clarkey.
Yep.
Of course, famously did his ankle, I think, or something out here last year in the grand final at this ground. Yeah,
he did his ankle about halfway through the first quarter, and much credit to the young umpire who took over umpiring duties while we got Clarkey off the field.
Yes, absolutely. But coming to a big game out here, of course, at H.E Parker Reserve. We've got third versus fourth, if you've just joined us. Great chats with both Adam and Lucy prior to the game, the two senior coaches, and really looking forward to getting stuck into this run.
Kate, you're down there on ground level. I'm up here on the balcony. But from up here, I think Waverley Blues, to me, look a taller side. What's it look like from down there on ground level?
Well, actually, Ray, they're pretty evenly matched, although there is one Waverley young lady that stands out quite a lot, just in the centre there. She is very tall, and I feel very challenged in the height direction. But I think on the average that perhaps Heathmont's maybe got one or two more talls than what Waverley has. Okay. But that said, they're both very evenly matched teams.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you'd probably be looking at Abby Sanders there, the ruck for the Waverley Blues, potentially. A very, very important player to this lineup. Of course, we talked a bit about Peacock, Ray. Going to be a handful for Heathmont, obviously, to control. But they don't also just rely on her. They do have other players, like Hall mentioned in her 50th game. Certainly hit the scoreboard. There's a few who can. So that will be interesting to see what they do defensively against the Waverley Blues. As we said, they are a pretty strong attacking side. In terms of tips, I've actually tipped the Waverley Blues as a, I don't know if you'd call it an upset maybe, potentially. I think they're both very evenly matched, but I've gone the Waverley Blues because there is a lot more on the line, and I know Heathmont have still got a couple of players yet to come in.
Yeah, well, not knowing a heck of a lot about both of these sides, but I'll go the other way. I'll go Heathmont, mainly because of home ground advantage.
Yes, Kate, your tip today?
I'm definitely Heathmont, just after seeing how they addressed Blackburn. And also, just on a side note, number 11 for Heathmont, Hayden Neal, today is her 100th game as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. We spoke to Adam Sullivan about Hayden, who's been fantastic servant for the Heathmont Jets. As we get the coin toss here in the middle of the ground. And it looks like it's been won by the Waverley Blues, and Walsh will be kicking to the right of your screen out here at H.E Parker Reserve down towards the creek. Is there a creek down there, Ray?
I don't know, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure there is.
There's a walking path down there.
Yes.
Well, it's not the scoreboard end.
No, it's not the scoreboard end. As we're almost ready to go for a big match of the round. Thanks for joining us, EFNL Facebook and YouTube. Important game for both sides, as potentially not the last time we'll see him too. There's a good chance that these two will face in a final series.
Very important for one of these sides to get a break in that first quarter, you know, and maybe be, you know, 2 goals up, but that doesn't mean they're going to win the game because, you know, both these sides, as we've said, they're evenly matched. So, you know, whoever's kicking down that end, which is, you know, the slight scoring end down that way, maybe they'll get, you know, a couple of goals advantage for that quarter. But, you know, the opposition will also get 2 goes at it down that end as well.
Yeah, that's right. Probably going to be wind assisted because the wind's just picked up a little bit more as we are about to start the games. So that right-hand side of your screen is definitely going to be advantaged by the wind.
Yeah. And Walsh was very quick to point down to that end once she won the toss, and there was a very good cheer from the Waverley Blues huddle. So they know it's a potential advantage for them if they can kick the first couple of goals, get off to a bit of a break and put the pressure on the home side, as we're almost all set to go here for the first bounce of this Deakin University match of the round. It is Heathmont taking on the Waverley Blues, and we're all set to go out at H.E Parker Reserve. First tap won by the Waverley Blues. Tap forward. Capramola chasing this one. Bishop, in her 50th game for the Waverley Blues. And a stoppage about 55 out from Waverley's goals. The tap down was won once again, but ball going nowhere. Neal was wrapped up, and we edge a little bit closer to that forward 50. Going to be advantage there for the Waverley Blues. Tap down by Harvey. Now Capramola inside 50, looking for the first of the day. Handball comes back out under a lot of pressure. Neal wrapped up by Bishop. And we'll get another stoppage. But we're getting very close to the Waverley Blues goals. They've been able to move a little bit closer at each stoppage. And we'll get another ball up. So a minute into this first term, Jets and Blues. Picked up this time by Mullinger. Her handball out. Comes back against, off the right boot forward. Picked up nicely. That was by Sharp. Sharp bouncing towards goal. First of the day for the Waverley Blues. And Alyssa Sharp hits the scoreboard as they move to 1 straight 6. Heathmont no score, a minute and a half.
Sharp by name, sharp by nature. That was great play for her. It was a check side kick. You know, wasn't long, but there was nobody in front of her, so she didn't have to put any air on it. A good goal there, and an early good goal to Waverley Blues. Nothing fancy about the way they got it out of that centre square, but you don't have to be fancy. You
just kept getting the territory.
You've got to get a bit of territory there.
Nice pickup by Waverley Blues, sharps from South Belgrave's team from last year.
Neither side got advantage of the hit out, but Waverley Blues have the ball now. Turned it over with a hand pass to the opposition. The ball's gone out to the outer wing there. Heathmont now kicks it clear up to the edge of the centre square, and a good mark there to Heathmont. She goes back, looking for the lead from the forward. A good lead there by McPherson, who's dropped the mark, but the ball's hit the ground. Heathmont pick it up, hand pass out in the open spaces, right in front of that scoreboard. Hand pass again by Maletta. And there's been a free kick for holding the lady, I suppose you call it, and holding the lady, and the free kick will go to Waverley Blues to clear it out of that defence.
So out of their back half, the mark is taken again for the Waverley Blues. Forward, this time from Bishop. Bounced on the wing, picked up nicely, off the right boot, inside 50. There's a good transition. It was well done there by handball forward. Running at this one, they've been able to find a bit of space. Bishop involved again, got round her opponent off the left boot towards goal. And it bounces through for a minor score. So 1-1-7 the Waverley Blues, Heathmont no score.
As you mentioned, Ryan, great transition by Waverley Blues out of that half back line and got the ball into the forward 50.
Yeah, they just linked up so well then, as they're certainly looking to make the most of the wind advantage this quarter. Came off hands as Heathmont looked to escape their back half. The handball forward, once again that's Sharp off the right boot towards the top of the goal square and tapped through that time by Sharp of Heathmont, Caitlin Sharp.
Yeah, Sharp, she's certainly making her presence down there on that half forward line.
The fact that she's come from Premier is really shining through at the moment with those skills and game hand reading.
So the Jets looking to get back out of their defensive half of the ground. Came off hands before it crossed the line, so we'll get a ball up. About 50 out from Waverley Blues goals. Currently leading 1-2-8 to Heathmont no score. We've played 4.5 minutes into this first quarter. The tap down was won by Harvey. Amongst this one again, she manages to get her handball off in time. Picked up by Bishop, who's been everywhere so far. Her handball forward. Harvey again, kept it alive. And is finally going to be held up here right on the boundary line.
What's happening, Ryan, is that Waverley Blues have the ability to get that ball with a hand pass out into the open. Up it goes there, right in the forward pocket, right-hand forward pocket there. We have a secondary ball up, a lot of players around the ball. Up it goes again, up go the two rucks. So Waverley Blues ruck pushed their opposition out of the way on the side, but then free kick, incorrect disposal against Waverley Blues. It's kicked up to the half back line, right on that 45, 50 metre mark. Once again, another hand pass out into the open. Waverley Blues are really doing that well today. The ball's in dispute there. We're coming through the centre. Heathmont, missed kick, but they're still sort of pushing the ball a little bit forward. But there's going to be another stoppage right in the centre square, probably 20 metres to the goal side of the centre circle. Up goes the knockout. Neither ruckman get advantage there. The ball's gone to the ground. Picked up by Heathmont. Hand pass to her to her teammate. A lot of players around the ball. Nobody can get a clear possession. Looks like it's going to be the third ball up in the same spot in the last minute or so. Umpire throws the ball aloft. Up they go again. Waverley Blues got the advantage there with that knockout. They pushed the ball down into their forward 50. Off the ground, a great kick off the ground, and a mark to her teammate. But the umpire's call played on. And it was sharp again, but she's hand passed to a running teammate, but unfortunately the kick was inaccurate, and that's another point to Waverley Blues, who go 1 goal, 3-9, and the ball hasn't been inside the forward 50, has it, for Heathmont? Maybe one.
Maybe once.
Yeah.
So the Jets under pressure in this first term. That win certainly is picked up, as Kate mentioned earlier. Kick out of defence, a long one towards the boundary line. Boundary line throw-in or ball up here would have probably been a good result for him, but ball's coming straight back inside, looking for a target in Peacock. Clearing kick out of defence. This is better from Heathmont. They're now looking to use the corridor. It's a dangerous ball. Could be won here by the Waverley Blues. Doing really well was White. Spun around, got the handball off. Ball comes back. Now Patain comes in and sends one inside 50 and hits up a target. So they've worked this well. Now Peacock extends the angle and puts a long kick towards goal. How's the bounce? It bounces through.
Goal. Gee, that was a favourable bounce, wasn't it? It was heading straight for the right-hand side of that goal post, and it bounced the other way. Well done to Peacock there. He kicked that from probably 35 metres out too, Ryan.
Yeah, 40 or so metres, and a good one for Waverley. 2-3-15 to the Jets, no score. 7 coming up to 8 minutes gone in this first term. You know she's dangerous, but yeah, that is a fantastic finish.
Gentlemen, she was a little wind assisted because there was just a quick gust that just hit right at that sweet spot.
Yeah. It was good play in the centre of the ground too by Waverley Blues, because they were outnumbered and they won the ball and got it back inside their own forward 50.
Heathmont have just really got to settle and get back in their heads into their own game plan, because at the moment they're doing chase Waverley, not their kind of football.
So here's the Jets now on the win. Mullinge up, takes a bounce. Under a lot of pressure. Still able to recover it. Her handball. Couldn't find a teammate. It's going to be held up here on the far wing at H.E Parker Reserve. 2-3-15 to no score. The Waverley Blues leading. Coming up to the 9th minute mark of this first term. They're certainly making the most of that wind advantage as there's a free kick here going the way of Heathmont. So chance for them to get their second inside 50 of the quarter. Potentially their first score of the day. Kick towards a pack of 5. Came off hands. Important ball to be won here. White was involved. Walsh. Quick kick inside 50. The mark was taken. That was well done. Now Kyla Morris, she's off. She can take a bounce. Takes a second. Just gets it off in time and hits up a target. And the mark is taken by Molnar in the forward pocket for the Jets.
That was a great run down there by Waverley Blues, but unfortunately for them, she just got her kick in time and it went straight to her teammate.
Just did, as Molnar can put one against the run of play at the moment. Her kick is just a minor score, but the Jets are on the scoreboard now. 1 behind to the Waverley Blues. 2-3-15, 10 minutes into this first quarter.
Yeah, no, they played that well, Heathmont, right out of the centre. They've finally got on the scoreboard. One thing I've noticed, though, when the ball goes into Waverley Blues' forwards, their forwards are playing in front. And they've had probably 3 errant kicks that have just landed in their teammates. So they've got to watch that down back, Heathmont. The ball's kicked out. And a secondary kick now. They've kicked it to the centre circle there, Waverley Blues. And they've come out in front. That was great play there by Miller, I think it was, through the centre. Once again, playing in front. And that's another goal to Hoole. They're just playing in front in that forward line, and there's nothing fancy about the way they're delivering the ball into that forward line. But if you're playing in front, as they've proven, they've got it every time it's gone down there.
Yeah, that's right. 3-3-21, the Waverley Blues, 1 behind Heathmont, and perfect transition right down the corridor.
Yeah.
Miller, as you mentioned, was involved in that passage play. She's been involved in quite a few already, and then, as you said, Hull in front position. A nice reward for Hull, obviously playing her 50th club game today with the Waverley Blues alongside Amelia Bishop, and both have been very important in this first term as a 20-point lead to the Waverley Blues. As
Valletta.
Yeah, Maletta gets the clearance forward, but
great
mark in defence there by Savage, who's off and racing so far. Puts this towards the centre wing right in front of us, broadcast side. It was picked up nicely by Renee James. Her kick hits the target almost there of Sharp, just slipped through her hands. And good pressure there from Watson.
Watson, yeah.
Just to be able to hold it up because Sharp looked like potentially she could get out the back and send them inside 50 once more. Coming up to the 12th minute mark of this first term, 21 plays 1.
They can't let Waverley Blues score another goal. You don't want to be 4 goals
don't want
down.
to be, yeah, particularly with still another 8 minutes in this quarter.
Exactly.
It does put a lot of pressure as Walsh, her kick, finds a target. Bishop swung around, got a handball off in time, running into that contest. Well done, Patain, got the handballs off. Bishop, Peacock, her kick smothered. Follows up with the tackle.
One thing that Heathmont cannot do, they cannot leave a Waverley Blue player loose. They keep doing that and they keep getting punished for it.
Tap down one again by the Waverley Blues. Walsh is around this one. She gets her handball off in time. Capamola, kick inside 50. Bouncing towards the boundary line. A lot of work here for Watson, who did well just to get that across the line. She had 2 to beat.
Once again, Kate, there was a Waverley Blues player right out on the wing towards you on her own again.
Absolutely, and that's where the, Heathmont's getting punished and where Waverley Blues is able to translate that into a score on the board.
Yeah, up goes the ball, neither side get the kick there by Waverley Blues right there. And a mark again to Waverley Blues. They're on a bit of an angle. It's Peacock again. Gee, Peacock and Bishop, those players, they're really dangerous down there. She'll go back on a real tight angle, but kickable goal, I would say. Taking her time, bit of a long run up. She's kicked it right, hit the point post on the outer side, so it'll be a kick into Heathmont.
Just quickly, that wind has changed. It's actually now blowing from the score end down towards the cricket goal end.
Okay. The kick out for the Heathmont has gone straight to Waverley Blues on the 50-metre line mark. Back to the goal square. They've kicked it in. The ball's loose again. Once again.
Off the ground, Hall.
Hall again. Gee, those forwards for Waverley Blues, they're causing havoc down there for Heathmont.
Yeah, another big one. That's 4-3-27 now, the Waverley Blues. Heathmont just the one behind.
Adam Sullivan's got to do something with his back six. He's got to just do something. They're too loose down there.
Well, they're in a little bit of a dangerous position here in this next 6 minutes because, as you said, they don't want to concede anymore, but they don't want to go too defensive and not score themselves in this quarter. They do need to obviously get one back. I know they will have the wind advantage in that second term.
Just got to man up down there for a start. You know, there's been, as Kate alluded to, there's too many Waverley Blues players out by themselves. You know, their opponents 10 or 15 metres off them.
Back in the middle we go again, and the Waverley Blues have been very good in these centre clearances, and the last one was won, I think, by Maletta, which she's not in the middle at the moment, as the tap down was won once again by the Waverley Blues. Watson involved. She
could have got a
was
free
on ground
kick,
level.
I thought. Yeah.
A high kick. It's not going to be 15. Came off hands, and it goes in the direction of the Waverley Blues goals. Watson once again involved in everything, just fighting hard for the Jets, trying to get control back for the home side. Currently trailing by 27 points there.
We have an injured player, Heathmont. The trainer's on the way out. Hand.
So we'll keep an eye on that as 15 and a half minutes into this first term. We get the ball up back in the middle of the ground. Tap down was won by the Jets, but ball going nowhere. Wrapped up in the tackle. We'll get another stoppage, and we'll do it all again. Not long left in this first term. There's been a free kick, and it's the way of the Waverley Blues. So they're going to look to move this pretty quickly, I reckon, as
we're shepherding in the ruck contest.
Yep. So Batain will send this one inside 50. Can they get a mark out of this? Came off hands at front. Position again was Peacock. Been involved in everything. Bishop again. This time, Brown. Ball comes back out, trying to break through the tackle. That could have been Bishop. And umpire says, give it to me and we'll ball it up. 16, almost 16 and a half minutes gone in this first term. 4-4-28 to 1 behind.
Waverley Blues' peripheral vision for where their fellow teammates are is impressive.
Out of the ruck, a long kick towards the top of the square. Defence was good here by Heathmont. They were happy to concede this through. And it's tapped through by Neil, and that is a rush behind. 4-5-29, Waverley Blues. Heathmont 1 behind, coming into the last 3.5 minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, Heathmont getting ready to kick the ball out. She's come out to this side again, and it's a shocker of a kick. It's gone to nobody, but Waverley Blues are first to have it. And a great hand pass there out to an outside runner as well. And very unlucky not to get another goal there. Check side kick that just went to the right of the goalpost down there. Once again, look, they're still not manning up, Heathmont. That's the trouble.
So 17 minutes gone first term, 4-6-30 to 1 behind.
I think that, in my opinion, they've got to be kicking out from these behinds to that outer side of the ground.
Close
they're
to the boundary.
kicking into the wind this way.
So
right, that's better.
taken.
Mark there by Heathmont. They'll have the secondary kick, hopefully get it outside that 50-metre mark.
Quick update on number 12, Sullivan for Heathmont. She's still under trainer assessment for a hand.
Okay. It's just the hand passing of Waverley Blues is so dominant. Once again, they get it outside to a player. Good contest there by Heathmont back person to knock the ball away from the... But once again, Waverley forwards are
They've looked
playing
electric in this first quarter, the Waverley Blues.
Look, we don't want to be too, going about it all the time, but it is so obvious. They've got to play in front sometimes, the backman. Won again, the ruck contest, Waverley Blues, and could have been, if it bounced the other way, it would have been another goal.
Well, they have had a couple of lucky bounces, but that moves the score now to 4-7-31. Waverley Blues, 1 behind a Heathmont. So it is a big moment here for the Heathmont side. Cannot concede another one before quarter time. It's currently a 5-goal margin. They can certainly make it up once they head to this direction of the ground in the second quarter, but it will be a little bit of a tough battle as Brown's kick finds a target. Getting through the tackle there, Molnar got the handball off. Now the Jets get the ball moving towards half forward. This is better. Can they get something out of this? Socket off the ground, just missed it. Waverley Blues now defending as the kick out of bounds by Pearson.
That was Ferris who kicked that ball forward for Heathmont there.
Going to be important for the Jets today as they look to go inside 50 once more. Came off the hands that time of Emma Simpson. And with less than a minute left, you would say Heathmont are probably the only side that would be able to score from here. But in saying that, the Waverley Blues have moved the ball so freely and so quickly today, so you wouldn't be surprised if they can get something out. But another stoppage just outside the forward 50. The umpire will throw it up straight away and get this ball moving once again. The kick was smothered by the Jets. The handball out. They look to go inside 50 once more. The mark is taken by James in defence. And that might just do us, unless there's a turnover right here. The Waverley Blues will go in front. 5 goals up at quarter time break. Out the back was Mullinger under pressure. 10 seconds left. Now, is there any chance for a late goal potentially by the Waverley Blues? Socketed off the ground by Peacock. They might just run out of time. They miss an opportunity there as the ball is held up, and it is quarter time at H.E Parker Reserve, and the visitors have come here and owned the first term. 4-7-31 the Waverley Blues. Heathmont 1 behind, and a dominant first quarter going with the wind, the Waverley Blues, and they are in control of this game. And the goal kickers in that quarter, Elise Hull in her 50th game for the Waverley Blues. She's kicked 2, Sharp has 1, and Peacock also has 1. We're going to take a quick break here and then be back for the second term out at H.E Parker Reserve. Welcome back to the Deakin University Senior Women's Match of the Round. It is the Waverley Blues taking on Heathmont out here at H.E Parker Reserve, and the visitors have had a very, very strong start to this term for 7:31 to 1 behind, as Adam Sullivan has quite a few messages there to pass on, and we're going to hear from him now with Kate Green, who's on the boundary. We'll cross down to Kate, and she has Adam Sullivan with her.
Hi, Adam. That was a very, very tough quarter on the field, and I can see it also in the box for you. You mentioned when you were speaking to the girls that basically you got killed in the transitions, and just, you know, they're not in, their heads are not in the game basically overall, and you were questioning the girls whether or not they had, you know, they wanted it as much as what they say they do. Would you like to expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's easy to get, I guess, stuck in a pattern when, you know, you're still winning games even though you're not playing well. So, you know, the warnings have been there. We've made it clear that you do this against good sides, and it's going to bite you on the bum. But yeah, I think this quarter is just about focusing on beating your opponent, because what I saw out there in that first quarter was not up to par. So plenty to work on.
You did mention that they needed to focus on being on their opponent, because not being on their opponent has killed you in that first quarter.
Yeah, I just think, look, too many occasions where we've given their forwards a bit of space. Again, we're expecting we'll lose the ruck contest all day, but again, I think our midfield group is more than capable. It's just about showing what we can do and not giving them in the middle or down forward the space that they need to kick a goal, produce anything. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Thanks very much, Adam, and all the best for the rest of the game.
Thanks, Kate. Cheers.
All the best there. Thanks to Adam Sullivan. As we continue on, we're back in the middle once more. And of course, the Heathmont side kicking to your right side of your screen, which has been a strong breeze, but once again it's the Waverley Blues with the clearance forward. Came off hands. The handball from Mullinger. Under a lot of pressure. They get this one now out. Sharp's going to run onto this. Not quite. Tap forward. And we might just get a stoppage on the arc. The handball comes back out. Umpire lets it play on Walsh. Kick inside 50. It's a one-on-one battle. It's going to be potentially won here by Hull. She socketed it off the ground into a dangerous area of the ground for the Jets. Bishop wrapped up. And umpires just let this play on again, as thought for sure that was going to be a stoppage there, and almost gave the Blues a chance.
Well, it was a stoppage because all the players just stood there and waited.
Yes, as the tap down won that time by Miller.
Yeah.
Of course, Clarkey there umpiring, a very experienced umpire, Ray.
Yes, been around longer than I have.
Yes, that's hard to do. Yeah. So here's the Jets trying to escape their back half. Yeah. And tackle that time, holding things up.
Yeah. Okay, up we go for another throw up right on the 45, 50 metre line. The ruck, good ruck work there by Heathmont that time. The ball's gone up to the corridor. Chance here for Heathmont, but the tackle by Waverley Blues, and we have another stoppage. All these stoppages are playing into the hands of Waverley Blues as well. Up it goes again. Knockout by Waverley Blues as expected. Good tackle there by Morrow it was. Kyla Morrow. Great tackle there by Heathmont. Goes again. Taken out of the ruck by Harvey. Kick smothered, and another ball up as well. Up it goes again. Neither ruckman had an advantage in that. Picked up by Watson, but her kick was smothered. There is a player down at the moment who's injured. They're calling for the trainer, so we'll just have a little bit of a stoppage. Now this should give Heathmont a bit of a chance to just, you know, reorganise in that back line, because they haven't in this quarter they haven't shown us any improvement, Ryan, have they?
And one thing that Adam did identify there, they're not going to win the ruck battle. Yeah. They're obviously down on their ruck stocks today, and they're not, you know, their key rucks aren't out there, so they're having to try and move around the pieces to obviously fill that position. So they've got to play to obviously the Waverley Blues ruck and not let Harvey or or others dictate.
Yeah. So the
terms.
midfielder's got to come into play for
Absolutely.
Heathmont. They've got to start winning the ball because they haven't been winning the ball in the first quarter.
Yep, it's a big quarter for the Jets midfielders
Yeah.
if they are to obviously be in this game at half time, because a couple of goals the other way and the margins just start to blow out and it's very hard to come back from.
I mean, you look. Go on, sorry, Kate.
I was just going to say, interestingly enough, Adams got Violet Miletta dropped back to full forward or to the half-back pocket.
So here they go again, the Waverley Blues towards goal this time, just to the right, so minor score.
Yeah.
4-8-32 to the Jets, 1 behind. Once again, there was Bishop involved at the start of that play, who's playing her 50th game and been simply outstanding so far. Long kick out of defence, but they don't have the numbers out the back of the contest here. It's all the Waverley Blues just going without it there with Savage. That comes back a little bit, back in towards the corridor. Handball from the Jets. And it is a free kick here to
For
the Waverley
holding.
Blues. So Batain will send this one forward.
Paid by the non-officiating umpire. That's all right. The ball's gone into their forward 50 again. Should have marked it there, Heathmont. She's picked up and tackled and we'll have another ball up. Right on that 50-metre arc on the scoreboard side of the ground. Up it goes. Once again knocked out there by Waverley Blues. They're so dominant in the ruck. The ball's kicked off the ground, pushed it forward. And once again we'll have another ball up.
Just got to credit the way the Waverley Blues have started this game.
They've bottled them up, Ryan.
They've been outstanding.
Yeah. But you have a look now. They've still got a couple of Waverley Blues players on the outskirt of the skirmish. That's something that Heathmont's got to be very wary of.
They've also got loose players. They're not Heathmont are not actually keeping with their opponent.
Yeah.
So again, they're getting killed in that area, and that's the biggest area that Waverley Blues are taking advantage of.
Free kick here to the Jets of Watson.
Watson, yeah.
Back pocket. She looks to escape their back half. Ball out the back. Kick was smothered. Socket off the ground. Ball was won by Walsh.
Once again.
To Harvey.
Waverley Blues are outnumbered them. Every time there's a ball contest, Waverley Blues seem to outnumber them, Ryan.
I think they're first to the football at the moment. And I think someone who's probably snuck under the radar a little bit, but who's finding plenty of the ball is Walsh.
Yeah.
Has been involved in a lot of these stoppages. Is the tap down won by the Waverley Blues again. It was Simpson who grabbed it first. She's wrapped up in the tackle. And that's the other thing, that their tackle pressure and that when the Jets have won the ball, they haven't been able to really use it because of the Waverley Blues' quick pressure around the contest. As this ball comes back out, the Waverley Blues been able to hold things up here. No score or no goal in this first term so far. We've played 7 minutes in the second quarter. It's still Waverley Blues 4-8-32 to the Jets 1 behind.
Up it goes again. Ruck contest. No side's got the advantage. A lot of players around the ball. The umpire lets it go. It's kicked a little bit loose off the ground. Picked up by Heathmont. A hand pass to the open. That's better on. They've kicked it forward, but there's 3 Waverley Blues players down there. I think it's Miletta there on the bottom of the pack. She's fighting against 3 Waverley Blues players in, so well done to her. Here we go.
But Waverley Blues have also got their full forward right back without anyone on her.
So still in the middle of the ground here. We'll get a stoppage. 7 coming up to 8 minutes gone in this second term. 4-8 plays, 1 behind. Tap down, won by the Jets. A perfect kick there, and then the intercept mark. Well done by the Waverley Blues, but was a good clearance that time from Simpson. That's probably what they want to see more of, is back in the corridor, intercepted. Beryl Smith, now they link up the handball to Miletta. Her kick off the right boot. Can find a target? The bounce just eludes the intended target there. Picked up this time by Mullinger. Got her handball off in time. Tap there from Ferris was a smart one. Miletta now bouncing kick inside 50. Again, the numbers are pretty well set up behind the ball for the Waverley Blues. Good pressure and great tackle there by the Jets as the ball comes back into the middle of the ground. Around this one, Ferris wrapped up, and once again we'll get a ball up, but just looking a little bit better there. They've started to get some clearances, Ray.
Yeah, they're starting to get a little bit of movement with the ball now, Heathmont. Up it goes again, knockout by Waverley Blues as usual. The ball's on the ground in dispute, kicked up by Waverley Blues. Here we go, Watson's picked it up. She's come into the play into this quarter. She's kicked it out on that outer side, but there's nobody there. Out comes one of her teammates. Maletta again has run forward to take the ball. And she gets a free kick for too high. I love the way she attacked the contest though, Ryan.
I do too.
She's such a tough little rocket.
She is. No, she attacked that. She was the one that put it out there as well with Watson. Kick down to Ferris. Hand pass back to Carrick it is, who for Heathmont.
Well, she said that's it, I'm taking the game on, which is, I don't mind.
Well, they're the players that they've got to get in. Watson, Maletta, Ferris, they're the ones that have got to start winning the ball for Heathmont if they're going to get back into this contest.
Interestingly, just to comparing where Heathmont is with their game that they had in round 2 against Blackburn, the same situation. When Maletta stepped up, that's when things started changing for Heathmont, and it's the same again.
Yeah. Marked and kicked up by Harvey, up to the centre wing. Watson again, she's had a lot of the football in this quarter. It's kicked out there to the outer side, and it will be a ball up or a kick in by Waverley Blues.
So we'll get...
That'd be a ball up, I think.
Yeah, so 10.5 minutes gone in this second term. 4-8-32 to 1 behind. Waverley Blues have been outstanding to start the game. Now the Jets trying to break through a tackle and Maletta. We'll get another stoppage. So approaching the 11th minute mark of this second term. Of course, it's 3rd versus 4th if you've just joined us in Division 2. So a big game, particularly for the visitors, as now a chance for Maletta. Got a bit of time and space, can take a second bounce, can take a third if she chooses to. Went for the kick over the top and it was intercepted. Almost probably could have taken a bit more time. Didn't have anyone around her as the ball comes back out now to Miller. Miller, who's been underrated for the Waverley Blues today, been very solid. Her kick in towards the corridor, finds a target. Could be James who can put this towards the half-forward line. Simpson. Watson with the intercept. And they move this out of defence. So, Ferris. Forward, looking for Mullinger, kept it in front of herself. Spun around really nicely, did Mullinger. Mullinger's kick now towards the half-forward line, chasing this one first. It's Batain on the boundary side. Can't quite find her target.
It's a free kick to Heathmont. Kicked it out on the full. The defender there for Waverley Blues. Waiting on the ball to come back underneath that light post, right across here in front of the cricket net. She's gone to the centre to Watson. She's been contested in the mark and dropped it. Waverley Blues come out with it. A hand pass to the defender who kicks it up towards the cricket pitch. Once again, here we go. Waverley Blues, they got the run through the centre circle, kicks it into the forward 50. A grubber of a kick. A lucky once again...
Great pressure.
Drop the ball, the umpire said. So well done to the Heathmont backs there. Now they've got the advantage out there. We've got Ferris leading to the ball. She's missed the ball, but she's got it on the rebound. She kicked it down to a teammate. At least they're contesting the ball now, Ryan. Heathmont, they're making a bit of a contest out of it, but they've got to hit the scoreboard.
Well, that's the thing, Ray. They haven't conceded a goal in this quarter. They're starting to generate some more inside 50s. Their work around the stoppages has been better, but at the end of the day, they do need to start hitting that scoreboard before half-time. Otherwise, it'll make things very, very tough in the second half. The kick from James bounces, still alive. Maletta kept it in, and her kick off the side of the boots, out of bounds on the full. She's had plenty of the football this quarter.
Her disposal hasn't been 100%, but she's getting the football. But look, what they've done
Give them a
also,
spark.
I think they've nullified the ruck work of Waverley Blues a little bit. They're not getting the hit out, Heathmont, but they're not, they're stopping Waverley Blues from getting a clear hit out.
But when Heathmont get the ball, there's one of them and there's at least 3 Waverley Blue players on them. So they're not manning up and helping each other out.
No, you're right, Kate. You're dead right there.
So a ball up right in front of the boundary side. Kept alive by the Jets. The handball, that time from Morrow. Was looking for Molnar. Another tackle where getting closer to that half-time stage. 14 minutes gone in this second term. It's a 31-point lead to the Waverley Blues. Tap down. One again by the Jets in Morrow.
Oh, no,
Could be holding the ball free kick, and that time...
She broke the first tackle, but the second tackle got her then.
So Watson's
had a lot of the football this
been
quarter.
very good this quarter.
Yeah.
Giving them a bit of a spark as well. As ball comes off hands. Trying to break through McPherson. Might be one of the key plays in the second half of the Jets to get back and win this game.
Ryan, we've got about 5 minutes to go. I feel that if Heathmont only kick 1 goal, it's going to be a huge advantage to them going into half-time. Just got to
For
get
the Waverley Blues?
No, to Heathmont.
Oh, just to get one back?
Just to get one back and then go in there with a little bit more confidence.
Yep.
Well tackled there.
Big tackle applied there on the half-forward line. I agree. I think ideally we looked at it and we said at the break that 2 goals and cut the margin in half would have been the most ideal option. But, you know, even just get one, you're not going to get the whole lead back in 1 quarter. So they can get one here where they're really pushing. They just need to be able to find a target inside 50. It's probably the only thing that's let them down so far as the kick is turned over. Doing well there, Ferris. Now puts this one inside 50, the skipper. Bouncing ball. It might go all the way. In front position there, Simpson. First for the Jets, a much-needed goal. And Heathmont are on the board. And that's what you want from a Heathmont perspective going into the break. They moved to 1-1-7, Waverley Blues 4-8-32, and Ray, they were able to get Simpson out the back. Well done by Hayley Ferris to obviously see that.
You're right. But look, in the last, say the last 5 or 6 minutes, they've actually done really well, Heathmont. And as I just said prior to that goal, if they can get 1 goal on the board, they've still got 4 minutes or so to go in the quarter. If they could get another one, well, even now, that will help them with their confidence because they've nullified the ruck work of Waverley Blues. And those midfielders, the ones that we spoke about, they're starting to win the football.
So the tap down one by McPherson.
See? That's well done, out of the centre. Ferris again out the back. Didn't bounce favourably for her, but she kicked it off the ground. 2 kicks off the ground to Waverley Blues. They've done well to get that outside the metre arc. Hand pass by Heathmont out into the open. It's Carrick there, trying her best there. Once again, hand pass to Ferris. And she's kicked another goal. Ferris. That's a goal to Ferris.
What a great finish, and that's their second. They moved to 2-1-13 to 4-8-32. And Ray, we're just talking about players that probably need to stand up for the Jets. And you mentioned Hayley Ferris, and I think her last 5 or 6 minutes, Ray, has been outstanding.
It has, and Watson's been the leader. And Miletta's got a little bit of the ball, but her disposal needs to improve. But to me, Watson's been their best player for Heathmont. She's got it, particularly in this quarter. But see, now they're on a bit of a roll. They're back into this game now.
I agree. Well, it's back now to a 2-1-13 to 4-8-32. We said they needed at least 2 in this quarter. They've been able to do that now. Let's see what they can do. There's still time. There's 2.5 minutes. So it is one of those things. You get the first goal, you start the momentum, and doing well again in the ruck is McPherson.
Out again, yes.
And she, as I think we just said before, she might be a key player in obviously the second half if they're to win the game. So just even things up a little bit in the ruck. She's done well to compete. Neil, bouncing ball inside 50. Can they get 3 quick goals in them? 3 quick minutes. Morrow towards the top of the square. How's the bounce going to sit? And it goes through for a behind. So they are looking a lot better now. 2-2-14 the Jets, the 4-8-32 Waverley Blues, Ray.
Yeah, you mentioned McPherson in that ruck. What she's doing now is she's jumping into the contest, whereas before the Heathmont rucks were going body on the bigger Waverley Blues ruck people, and they were just too strong. But McPherson's jumping outside, jumping into the contest, and she's won the last 3 knockouts from centre clearances.
Yes, she has.
This is what Heathmont did to Blackburn. They were miles ahead of them, and then something clicked in that second quarter, and they started to pull themselves out of the rut. And this is exactly what Heathmont seem to be doing now.
So the Waverley Blues out of defence, the kick in towards the boundary side. It's picked up here by the Jets. The handball was cut off. Capamola now involved for the Waverley Blues. In this contest, James, her kick forward. Could be a turnover. It is. It's marked here by Brown for the Jets. Got 1 minute left in this second term. One more goal would really make things interesting going into the halftime break. And they're an opportunity now. Ball comes back out. Mullinger got a bit of space. Mullinger towards goal. Has just missed to the right. 2-3-15. Heathmont 4-8-32. Waverley Blues. 9.5 minutes gone, Ray. They are looking a lot better this quarter.
They are coming, Ryan. They are coming. Look, that would have been nice if it had been a goal, but it doesn't matter. They're challenging. They're challenging now. Waverley Blues are finding it hard to get it into their centre half, into their forward half of the ground now. It's just that the way the midfielders who've started it this quarter put a lot of pressure now on Waverley Blues. We'll see how they stand up. Kicked out from the point and marked by Waverley Blues.
And I guess maybe the key thing, Ray, in this obviously third term, that the Waverley Blues will get the win, but you don't want them to go too defensive.
She's turned it over, kicked it straight to Heathmont, and they've kicked it back in. Oh, and a mark there, a great mark under pressure by Waverley Blues down there.
Well, Adam did say that he wanted the mids to step up, that, you know, okay, they're getting killed in the ruck, but he said what the game needs is for the Heathmont mids to step up, and they definitely have in that quarter, particularly the last half of it.
They have. They've been able to cut the margin back to 17 points. You still think the Waverley Blues at this stage are in control of this game, but the signs there for Heathmont a lot better. And at half-time, it is the Waverley Blues 4-8-32 to Heathmont 2-3-15. And we're going to our half-time break. When we're back, we'll be all ready to go for this second half action. Don't go anywhere. It's third versus fourth in the Deakin University match of the round. Welcome back to the Deakin University Senior Women's Match of the Round, round 8 in Division 2, and it is the Jets and the Blues. And currently here at halftime, the Waverley Blues, the visitors, lead 4-8-32 to 2-3-15 Heathmont. The last 2 goals, both coming in the second term, were Jets goals, and they both came in the last 5 minutes, Ray. So with that, has just made things a little bit more interesting going into halftime break.
Yeah, because leading up to that time you just said, Ryan, Waverley Blues were so dominant all over the ground. They were winning the ruck contest. They were playing, their forwards were playing in front, and they kicked. Well, that's the reason why they kicked, 4 goals. And but then. To their credit, Heathmont got back into that game. Their midfielders in that second quarter, particularly Lucinda Watson, she was one of them, and Ferris down forward gave them a target, and they kicked those last 2. And I tell you, if they could get the first one in this quarter, or even not really, they've just got to stop Waverley Blues from scoring the way they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's right. The first 5 minutes will be crucial for the Jets as we're almost ready to go for the third term out here at H.E Parker Reserve. The clock resets and we're ready to go. And the Waverley Blues will be kicking back to the right side of your screen. McPherson did well with the tap down, going the wrong way that time, whether on purpose or not. As the Waverley Blues get the clearance forward. Came off the boot of Peacock. Chasing hard and applied the pressure on McPherson with the tackle. And wins the footy and gets her handball off in time. Now can they link up through Bishop, kick inside 50. Miller was around that one. Doing well, got the handball back to Hall. Elise Hall for the first of the third term, just a minor score. So 4-9-33 to 2-3-15.
Had a teammate right in the goal square that maybe could have hand passed to, but backed herself in, but unfortunately was errant in her kick.
There's certainly a case, Ray, that this quarter they could, they could ice the game in this quarter.
Well, they could, yeah. With
the advantage of the wind.
Yes.
Because they've had their opportunities. So ball comes back out. Big tackle applied on the half-back line here for the Jets. We'll get a stoppage back inside the forward 50 arc for the Waverley Blues. First minute and a half into this third term. Tap down one by McPherson. Walsh in front position, socket off the ground. Got the ball moving to Miller. Walsh picked it up again. Jets under a bit of pressure. The handball from Brown. Free kick here going the way of Claudia Walsh. And an opportunity for the first of the third quarter once again for the Waverley Blues, as Walsh will be in range from here. Will be kicking from a bit of an angle and looking for the Blues' 5th. Had such a strong first quarter, and now Walsh will line up in front of goal about 20 metres out. Bit of an angle as Walsh comes in. Been very good, particularly in that second quarter. This kick stays to the right, just a minor score. So 4-10-34 the Waverley Blues to 2-3-15 Heathmont. We're 2 minutes into this third term.
Yeah. Gentlemen, just a quick update from both coaches, from Heathmont and Adam. Very improved in quarter 2 for effort. Up there, one-on-one opponent, that they're actually more hungry for the ball, so they were able to take more risks, as we saw with Maletta and Walsh and a few others. So therefore, they've got an increase in confidence. Just quickly for Waverley, Lucy said that, they need to get back to basics. They kind of lost the plot a little in that last 6 minutes of the second quarter. They need to pick up their pressure again. But as far as Lucy sees it, it's still a very contested game and not over yet.
Right, we have a ball up inside the forward arc for Waverley Blues. Up go the ruck. The advantage went to Waverley Blues. It's kicked down and kicked out of bounds, and I believe it'll be a free kick to Heathmont.
Yeah, but it'll be Caitlin Sharp.
Or a throw up.
Oh, no,
a throw up. It's gone out of bounds right beside the point post. So it'd be a ball up. They come in 10 metres, nearly to the point of the square. Up it goes.
Free kick.
Free kick against Waverley Blues in that ruck contest. She went too early and got in the way of the Heathmont player who's kicked it out. Yes, that wind has picked up, Ryan.
So it is going to be fascinating because it will be tough for the Jets, as we saw in that first quarter, to score.
And a free kick, they've kicked it to the corridor. Everyone's missed it. A snap over her shoulder. And it's a point to Waverley Blues. They're doing all the attacking at the moment. The Heathmont back six are under a lot of pressure.
They are. That was Miller who missed that shot, but been very lively today. And of course, 4 goals, 11 to 2-3. So they've had plenty of scoring shots. You convert a few more of those, and they're very close to ice in this game. Still 20 points and the game's alive, but the Jets are going to really struggle to get this ball out of their defensive half.
Ryan, I would be kicking it out to the other side of the ground if it was me, but no, they're coming out this side.
Well, let's see. Let's see where they can get.
It's a good kick and well marked there by Simpson.
That was wind assisted, very much so.
Yeah. Carrick has done a lot of the ball, but turned it over with the hand pass, and it's gone out of bounds again. And it'll be a free kick to Heathmont,
A message from Clarkey. We're not to jinx him by saying anything about his injury last year.
What injury was that? Was it his ankle injury?
His plantar fascia.
Okay.
He reckons we'll jinx him again.
There you go. No, he's doing a good job. Doing a good job. They all do, Ryan, all these umpires. You know, I love them all. You know.
Yeah,
Up goes the ball. Knockout by Waverley Blues, but it's gone straight to Heathmont. They get the kick along the wing. Miletta's outmarked there by White. A little bit stronger in the contest than White. She kicked it back towards that 50-metre arc.
Kick.
Down the corridor a little bit, a good place to put it. Nobody's got the ball. The ball's in dispute. And it looks like, I would say, a free kick to Heathmont, yes. It's Watson again. Hand pass out. Kicks up by one of her teammates into the centre square, right in the circle. Ferris has gone for the mark. She's been knocked off the contest. Here come Heathmont. They've kicked it forward into their forward 50. Just on the edge of it. Miletta, she's been shepherded by her teammate. Picked up by Miletta. It's kicked in. The ball is rolling. It's rolling. It's bouncing. And it is a goal. That goal has come from nowhere by Heathmont. You know, it's great play by Miletta, but all the credit also must go to, I'll get her name in a minute, who did the shepherding for Miletta. Who is it there down?
Yeah, well, what a finish.
That was fantastic play by Heathmont. That's what they needed. That's another one. That's a confidence lifter.
We talk about goals against the momentum.
Yeah.
There's not going to be too many goals kicked down to this end of the ground potentially. So,
when they were behind.
Kate, you're still on the mic there as we're getting the ball up back in the middle. 4:11:35 to 3:3:21. That one excites the Jets fans as the Waverley Blues look to go forward. Miller picked up nicely. They want one back after giving away one. Sharp did well. Puts this one inside 50. They've got an opportunity now. Picked up nicely by Bishop. Wrapped up in the tackle.
Oh, good tackle there.
Holding the ball, free kick.
Good tackle there by the defence there of Heathmont.
So the margin now 14 points, and the Jets, you know, if the Jets were 14 points down at three-quarter time, you say, I think they'd be pretty...
well, they'd be giving themselves a chance.
Yeah, a real chance.
That's right.
They would want to keep it under 4 goals 100% going into the last quarter, but they've got the one goal that they needed in this term as they look to escape their back half once again. The mark was intercepted. Demicoli doing well for the Waverley Blues. Has Capamola running past. Sends this one inside 50. Slipped through hands. Plenty of Jets defenders around this one. The handball from Brown. Got off to Watson. Watson clearing kick is marked by Brown for the Waverley Blues. Has it been paid? Now, the mark is paid, so I'm not sure. There's a bit of confusion on that one, but the mark is taken by Chelsea Brown. Long way out from home. Can put this one back towards the top of the square. Can they get a mark out of this? Plenty of Jets defenders amongst it. And in the middle is the one Waverley Blues forward, and Bishop takes a great mark and can now have the set shot on goal to potentially put the Waverley Blues back in front by 20 points. So a big game for her, of course, her 50th game for the club. Started this game phenomenally in the first term. The kick is just staying right. Wasn't able to work it back with the win. So a minor score, 4-12-36. Heathmont 3-3-21. Almost 9 minutes played in the third quarter race.
Now the ball's starting to, the game's starting to open up. The ball's moving a lot quicker from end to end in the last 10 minutes or so. So let's hope that it keeps going like that, because we want a real contest out of this. She's taking her time to kick it in from the behind. Comes out this side again. Up they go. Nearly a mark to Heathmont, but not quite. The ball's in dispute on the ground. Heathmont player picks the ball up and she's gang tackled and it goes to the ground. Another throw up right on that line, right on the arc. Up it goes. No one won the knockout to advantage. Waverley Blues, a hand pass out to an outside runner there. She kicked it right down to the dangerous spot right there on the goal line. Hand pass by Heathmont, and she has been given throwing the ball, incorrect disposal against Heathmont. She did everything right except hand pass it. And who is this, Ryan, with the ball?
This is Abby Russell, so returning from injury. Last played in 2024.
Yes. Good to see her back in there. And she has kicked the goal.
Oh, great moment there for Abby Russell. And such an important player to the Waverley Blues. And a very crucial goal at this time of the game, Ray. 5-12-42 to 3-3-21. And 10 minutes into this third quarter, they really wanted one back after conceding one despite having all the play. They probably had 8 or 9 inside 50s to 1. But it's 1 goal each in the quarter, so that was an important one for them. Yeah,
the momentum was going Heathmont's way, that's for sure. We're still waiting on the ball to come back from outside the fence down there. The umpires have got it, so there'll be a little while getting that ball back to the middle. Gives the players time to set up. I'd like to see the back six of Heathmont right beside each of their opponents, not giving them, look over there on the other side, Ryan. They've given them, 4 metres, 5 metres to the opposition. That's not good enough. The 2 half-back flankers of Heathmont here, they're both too far away from their opponents. You should be standing on their toes. Up goes the ball in the middle of the ground. Well, Russell, she's dominated the ruck since she's been put in there. Heathmont, if they can get the next one, ball's in dispute. Waverley Blues have come out. The kick's gone across the ground rather than forward. Nobody can mark it. Ball's in dispute again, slowly working its way down towards Waverley Blues. And a free kick to Waverley Blues. Somebody was held off the contest. Russell. She's starting to show her presence on the field now. She kicked it down inside the 50. Nobody marks it, but they picked it up, Waverley Blues. She got the ball. They missed the tackle, Heathmont. They've got to hold those tackles. They're just a bit cleaner, Waverley Blues, in getting that ball to the outside person. Free kick there against the forward down there. Too high in the tackle. It goes to Brown. Brown for Heathmont. She's right on the edge of the goal square, kicking out, gone out to that other side out in front of the cricket nets there. Ferris is out there, and the ball has gone over the line, and a free kick back in will go to Waverley Blues. We're waiting for that ball.
Chelsea Brown to take the kick here.
To kick it in, right.
The wind's really making a difference with kicking towards that right-hand side of your screen.
Yeah. There she goes, her kicks down. She's gone to corridor a little bit. The player was on the lead, but she couldn't hold the mark. But once again, Waverley Blues, they've gone at another point. Look, Waverley Blues, when they're a contested ball, they're so clean on getting the hand pass out to an outside player. So that's something that Heathmont, they're all going to that uncontested contest. Some of them have got to just wait outside for that ball to come out, because it is coming out in Waverley Blues' favour.
The only thing they've probably done wrong so far is not finish the game off. They're 5-13 in front of goal. So 5-13-43 to 3-3-21. And they just keep the door alive for Heathmont. A 22-point margin.
Yeah.
They were 5 goals up at quarter time before the Jets got a couple. They're still well and truly in control of this game, and they'll take the advantage into 3/4 time unless the Jets can, keep this second term very even, a third term very even, back on the far side of the ground here.
little shout out to the little girl down the back on the right-hand goal line. She's been getting that ball for the umpires consistently for the last 5-6 minutes.
And it's one of these grounds where that goes over the fence. You're waiting at least a couple of minutes usually.
We got her down for 4 hard ball gets and 23 possessions, Kate.
McPherson
Fantastic.
towards centre wing here. Greg did well, kept it in front of herself. Just needed to pick it up. Getting involved now, the Waverley Blues. Ball comes back out, looking for Brown. She applies the pressure. Maletta, socket off the ground. Kept it in front again. Gained a little bit of territory. The Waverley Blues, the handball from Patain. Picked up nicely that time. Believe that was Russell. Socket off the ground. Pressure's good here from the Jets. Craig, the handball, was looking to get it to Ferris. Gunn went backwards. Got the handball off in time. Now towards the corridor, big ball to be won. Miller did very well, got her hands over the top, was looking to get it off to Peacock. Ball comes back. Walsh involved it once more. The tackle was good, that time by Watson. And
Watson's been everywhere today for Heathmont. She really has been stepping up all the way through.
She's been really good, Kate,
been one of their key players across the afternoon. As we've got a player coming off the ground at the moment for the Jets.
She was the lady coming off the ground. She was not in the contest.
I think it could be a blood rule, maybe.
Could be a blood rule, but no, he didn't signal the blood rule. I think the umpire stopped the play and signalled her to go off the ground for some reason. Might be interesting, Kate, to see what you can find out.
So back on the case, the tap down was won by the Waverley Blues. Again, involved was Brown. So in this third term, we've played 15 minutes and it's been 1 goal apiece. So it's not the worst result for the Jets as the tap down was won. And now getting a bit of space was Simpson. Simpson towards the half-forward line. Bouncing away from the intended target. Did well to get back here, Simpson, and win the ball. Got the handball out. Now McPherson, kick forward. There's no one there. And it's all Waverley Blues plays behind the play. The mark was taken by Harvey. Harvey looks to escape the back half. It's a 2-on-1 in favour of the side. The ball comes out the back, though. Now a chance for Neal to run onto it. She does. Gets the handball off to McPherson. Just slipped to her fingers. Out the back is Watson. Involved once more. Bishop, Neal. We'll get a ball up on that far side. 16 minutes in this third term. 43 plays 21.
Yeah, up goes the ball on the outer side of the ground. Up it goes now. The rucks go up. No one gets their complete advantage. Ball's in dispute. There's going to be a secondary ball up here. McPherson's been very good in the ruck. You know, when she hasn't won the knockout, at least she's nullified their dominance that Waverley Blues had in the first half.
Because that was a big concern at quarter time.
Up it goes again. She's got the knockout again. Waverley Blues get the ball from the contest. Here we go. Someone running through the centre. That's grand play, but she's turned the ball over straight to the Waverley Blues player. The ball's out in the open. Here we go. Oh, great tackle. Great tackle. That is holding the ball. That is absolutely magnificent tackle then by Heinen, Olivia Heinen.
Yeah.
She was giving away a few heavyweight to her opponent, was much heavier and stronger, but she held that tackle. She's kicked it now out right on the cricket pitch area there. Waverley Blues have picked it up. A hand pass. She's turned the ball over as well. Hand pass by Heathmont to their own player. Kicked it up there. The ball's in dispute again. Well done by Heathmont. They've hand passed again. They've got the ball, but they're tackled, and it's going to be another ball up. Right in the same position that we had half a minute ago.
Not a bad effort against probably the most dangerous player on the grounds, particularly on a one-on-one battle. As we get a ball up in the middle of the ground. The tap down was won by the Waverley Blues, but some numbers around this contest for Heathmont. Brown got the handball off, and now they link up through Molnar. Bit of time and space. Run down in the tackle. Well done by Bishop. And a holding free kick, so it'll actually be a Jets.
Yeah, Mullinger's free kick.
I think that might be Molnar, potentially.
Yeah, Brooke Mullinger, isn't it?
No, not Mullinger, but...
okay, you're right.
Molnar goes forward for the Jets in towards the middle of the ground. There's been another free kick paid, and it is a Jets free kick.
It was a free kick for something to do when she kicked the ball, because the umpire signalled there. Maybe someone was in the restricted zone when she kicked it.
Well, Watson now will move this on. Got Mullinger there, who takes the mark on the chest and can put the
Now,
Jets back
they've got
in
to
forward.
take advantage here. They've got to take advantage.
Minute and a half left to play in this third term. Puts it up towards the hot spot. No mark taken. A goal before three-quarter time would be massive for their chances. They currently trail by 22. They'll have the wind in the last quarter, but they'd love to get one more back, the Jets. Tap down one again by the Blues. Again, trying to get through was Maletta. We'll get a ball up.
She's a real little bulldog at it, isn't Maletta?
Wow.
She's a terrier in under the packs.
Player,
yes.
Just hard at it.
They need to get something out of this, Heathmont. Up they go. Knocked down by Waverley Blues. They've kicked it out, not to anyone in particular. The ball's bounced high for the players. Well done once again by Watson. She's picked the ball up. She's well tackled there by Waverley Blues.
Well, that time it was
Peacock. Great tackle by Peacock. She's won again now, Heathmont there. Jim McPherson, she's been fantastic in the ruck.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, just a quick update on number 34, Simpson for Heathmont. They're just doing a head check, like concussion check for her,
Okay.
and they'll make a decision on her returning during the quarter break.
Right, thanks for that, Kate. Up it goes right on the 50-metre arc there. Up go the rucks. Knocked out once again by Waverley Blues, but gee, well tackled there. Well tackled by Molnar. Gee, that was a real strong tackle there. Looks like the Waverley Blues girl is hurt, maybe. She's taking a long time.
Well, the siren's going to go too.
Yeah.
And there is your three-quarter time siren. So at the final change, it is the Waverley Blues, the visitors, the fourth place side against the third place team, leading this game. 5-13-43 to the Jets, 3-3-21. We've got one quarter left to play. The Jets will be kicking with the win, so it's not all done just yet. A 22-point lead for the Waverley Blues as we take our last break here before the final quarter. Welcome back to the Deakin University Senior Women's Match of the Round. It is Waverley Blues taking on Heathmont out here at H.E Parker Reserve, and the Blues lead 5-13-43 to Heathmont 3-3-21. And we do have Kate Green on the boundary with the Wanturna South Senior Women's coach, I believe. I think she's down there with Lucy Milkeratis now. So we'll cross down to Kate, who has Lucy with her.
Lucy, it's been a really well contested 3 quarters of football. Going into this last quarter, you mentioned in the huddle about the girls staying focused and maintaining their discipline. Would you like to expand on that?
Yeah, look, we lost our heads a little bit in that third quarter and gave away a few silly free kicks. So it's really important for our girls this quarter just to keep their heads, keep focused on the footy and keep pushing hard.
Any other comments you'd like to make, or are you just still keeping things close to the chest?
Keeping things pretty close as always. It's 3/4 time. It's a tight game. So hopefully push through and come through with a win. But yeah, Heathmont I think are going to come back this quarter. So best effort.
Thanks very much, Lucy, and all the best for this last quarter to you and the team.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to hear from Lucy. Very well spoken. I think I might have accidentally said Wanturna South, right?
Yeah,
Waverley Blues, of course, if you're listening on at home. Big last quarter to come. We'll keep you updated with some of those scores around the grounds as well before we jump into the last quarter. Vermont Gold taking a big win over Mitcham, been a long time coming. Their only 2 wins have come against the Tigers. They won 32-22. Also in Division 3, North Ringwood big winners over Churnside Park, 87-8. Coldstream lead Berwick 39-13. And South Croydon lead Ferntree Gully 42-14. In Premier Division, it's going to be another big win to South Croydon. They're up 114 to Whitehorse 8. South at Belgrave leading Vermont 51-21. Park Orchards leading North Ringwood 50-20. So all those games looking like they're all over there. In Division 1, Balwyn 47 to Mooroolbark 7. Knox leading East Ringwood in a close one, 31-17. And the Basin leads Surrey Park 36-30 in a tight encounter here as we're just about ready to go for this second term, final term, should I say, as we're all set. It's 5-13 playing 3-3. The Waverley Blues leading and trying to get the clearance there. Ball going nowhere, so we'll get a ball up again back in the middle of the ground. 10 seconds into this final quarter as we're just waiting for the umpire to ball this one up. Bit of confusion out there at the moment.
Yeah, they had too many on the ground.
Okay, so that's...
ground, I think.
I'll take advantage and give you an injury update on Brooke Simpson for Heathmont. She is returning to the field for this quarter. She is cleared. It was more her chin and face rather than the actual head.
I think there was too many players on the ground because one's come off and nobody's gone on. And it was the girls who pointed it out. So the 2 umpires are conferring.
Yep. So, well, while we're just having this little break in play, I might just read out a couple more scores while we've got a chance around the grounds. Montrose lead Kilsyth 66-3. Of course, Blackburn are going to be big winners there, 64-0 against Beaconsfield. Now
they're calling her back on the ground. Okay,
so a little bit of confusion here is looks like we're just waiting for things to continue here. The time as well will continue to click.
Total confusion, though.
Total confusion, which is at the end of the day probably a good thing for the Waverley Blues. The sides being called in to the middle of the ground. This is fascinating. I'm not sure.
Clarkie needs to do a count.
Well, this is very interesting. This doesn't happen very often. So
yes.
We'll hold with us. We'll get some scores around the grounds as well while this is all playing out. Of course, here at the moment, the Waverley Blues lead 5-13, 43-3-21 as the 2 sides are lined up and being counted.
Because you realise the outcome of this. If they have too many players on, all the score of Heathmont gets wiped off the board. That are the rules.
Or if it's Waverley, same.
All the score they've scored on the scoreboard to this stage, they go back to 0.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen because that will be game over and pretty boring last quarter if that's the case. Because right now we've got a game on our hands if it's a free kick going to the Waverley Blues back in the middle of the ground anyway. So we'll continue on as
we've lost 3 minutes of time, that's all.
Well, the Waverley Blues will be happy with that because more time off the clock, the better for them as they try to get this one going forward. McPherson takes a great mark in defence for the Jets, being outstanding as she looks to use the corridor, taking the game on. Capamola there for the Waverley Blues, did well. Got it off the boot and into the corridor once again.
Carrick, hand pass by Carrick, yes.
Yes, her handball cut off though, and the kick was smothered. Ball comes back. Now a chance for Simpson inside 50, off hands. Important one to be won here by the Jets. Using her body well, did nicely. Got the handball back to Simpson. Working hard inside 50. Maletta stole it away, breaks away. Can she get rid of it? She can't, and that's holding the ball. And
she's down. She hit her head bad.
So we'll have the trainers come out at the moment and thought she was just about to get away, but the tackle was able to hold her up as good sportsmanship there from the Waverley Blues defender who's...
Waverley Blues as players actually holding her in place.
So we'll just have things obviously held up here for the moment as we look to approach the 4th minute mark of this final term.
This might be the shortest playtime quarter ever in the history of the game.
It could be. I mean, we
lost 3.5 minutes, and now we've lost some more time because of this, because the clock keeps going to anyone
Yes,
there.
it does in the senior women's competition.
Look, but the players' safety
comes,
doesn't matter. Players' safety comes into this.
Of course,
it was a funny contest because Violet Maletta and I don't know who the defender was. They both marked the ball together, but the defender looked a lot bigger, stronger girl. But Violet was able to grab it off her and turn. And as she turned, there was 2 more Waverley Blues players there and slung to the ground. And unfortunately, she's been concussed.
Yeah, so she's coming off the field now in the hands of both the trainers of Heathmont and the Waverley Blues. Where the ball will be positioned now will be looking like it'll be Capamola to take the free kick for the Waverley Blues at full-back for them. And they're currently leading this game by 22 points, and we're 5 minutes into this last quarter without really having, as you said, much game time. So that's 5 minutes gone off the clock that they won't mind, because they certainly are going to be challenged in this last quarter with Heathmont going with the wind. But they've got to get one quick, the Jets, if they're to perform a comeback, as the ball comes back out of defence. Running onto this one first was Ferris. Picked up by Krieg, got it off to McPherson. McPherson inside 50, came off hands. Doing well there was Molnar. Towards goal. A mark out the back is by Ferris, and this is what they need. And Ray's a big chance.
Yes, he's a big chance to kick this.
And particularly after quarter time, was one of the, obviously as the skipper of the side, but Team of the Year member from last year, such an important player. She was one that needed to stand up, and she has, and she's been great. This will be an important kick for her. The kick holds its line, and it's through. That's the start the Jets need in this final quarter to keep the game alive. 4-3-27. Waverley Blues 5-13-43.
And that's the second goal to Hayley Ferris, one in the second quarter and one in this quarter. So, yes, that's the one they needed, Heathmont, but they've got to follow it up with another one straight away if they can, because, they're a long way behind still.
16 points the margin, and of course they will be relying on that little girl behind the goals to get the ball back into play as quick as they can, because the time is very, very important to them.
Yes.
She's working hard, that little 5-6-year-old. Backing, I think she was over an Oz kick as well.
Yeah. McPherson dominant in the ruck again, hitting the ball forward for Heathmont. It's gone forward about 20-25 metres from where the ball was originally thrown up, and we'll have a secondary ball up there. Up it goes again, and neither of them get a hit. The clear hit out. The ball's in dispute there. Picked up by Waverley Blues, but tackled once again. Another ball up, but they are moving the ball slowly towards the goal, Heathmont. They're just inside the 50-metre arc. Up it goes again. Good knockout to McPherson again, but straight to Waverley Blues. They've run 10 metres. They've kicked it. They've turned it over straight to a Heathmont player there.
Looks like Brown.
Brown, she's hand pass to a teammate, and they're mucking around with this. They're going to lose this, I reckon. Brown's got it back again. The ball's on the ground in dispute, and Waverley Blues turn it out. They've kicked it into the forward, marked there by
Peacock.
Yep. And she's kicked it. A big lead there. Oh, no. Yeah, they paid the free kick. Who was it, Ryan? Do you get that? Was it Sanders, 11, or Sanders or Savage it is? She's kicked it up right at the top of the square. Nobody can mark. Kicked out by Heathmont, but it goes straight to Waverley Blues. Bishop, she's hasn't kicked a goal today, but she's had a lot of opportunities down there. She is about 35 metres out in the corridor. Question will be whether she gets the distance or not. Going to drop short on the line. Nobody's got it. Tapped over the line. And I think that was Watson who tapped that ball over the line there. It was, yes. And the ball will be kicked in by Sharp. 4-3-27 Heathmont to 5-14-44 Waverley Blues. Something's happening off the ball.
25-metre penalty? Or
Out.
50-metre penalty.
Do you know what that's for, Ryan?
Not sure. Didn't quite see what the signal was. In fact, it's a Waverley Blues free kick. So something off the play, and it's actually going to be a free kick here to James. And
Okay.
not what Heathmont want when they've got possession of the football.
It's kicked back in, 30 metres out again. We're in the corridor, nobody marks. Hand pass to Heathmont, put her teammate under pressure. Waverley Blues come out with the ball. They've hand passed it to an outside runner there. She's hooked it over her shoulder to the corridor. The ball's on the ground, dropped by Heathmont. I think that was Neil who dropped that one. It was there. And there's going to be another ball up in the same spot, about 35 metres out. Up it goes. No one got the knockout. Ball is in dispute. A lot of players around the contest there. This is where Heathmont have got to be careful of Waverley Blues just outside the contest. Nobody got, there it is. That hand pass just outside the contest as I called it. And it's gone out. The ball's in dispute. Everyone, she's attacked the ball here. She wants this one. And that was 12, Sharp. Sharp wanted that ball. She was the only one that ran into the contest at full pace, Ryan.
Yeah, and got it off to Peacock, who just missed that one. So 5-15-45 to 4-3-27, an even 3-goal margin now between the two sides. The Waverley Blues are realistically one score away from sealing this game. Back out of play here for the Jets. Grigg came in, made a contest out of that one. Doing well was Walsh, burst through the tackle. Got the ball off the ground and got it off to a teammate who can send them back into attack again. Here's the bounce. It's going to be a Heathmont ball because Peacock couldn't get there in time to get a hand to it. So the ball will go to Watson. Been one of the Jets' best players on the ground today.
Yep.
And we'll send this one back out of attack. Time is now against them. It's less than 10 minutes to play. So less than a half to go. Just on the boundary side was Simpson. Kept the ball inside play. Bishop pushed aside that time by Molnar. Let's move this into the corridor.
Good
Morrow
play,
doing
good
well.
play.
And
well done,
Ferris
Morrow.
got the
Morrow,
handball.
good play.
Cut off. The kick was smothered. Demicoli's kick. She follows it up. Gets it off to Bishop. They're losing a bit of territory. Great pressure then by Morrow once more. Ball held up here, centre wing, Ray. They've done okay, the Jets, just to gain a bit of territory.
Right, I think the Jets have got to forget the handball. They've got to get meterage. They've got to kick the ball every opportunity you can.
Yeah, well, they don't have much room to play with in terms of the time, so just got to take some risks at this stage. You'd rather lose the game by 5 goals than lose by 3. Handball back into the corridor, cut off, gun forward for the Waverley Blues. All numbers behind the play here for the Heathmont side. Doing well there. Watson got her kick off in time. Molnar once again involved. Pushed her way through. Walsh wrapped up. 12 minutes gone last quarter. 4-3-27 to 5-15-45.
You can't doubt their endeavour, Heathmont. They're having a crack.
Absolutely. They've been really, really good after quarter time. McPherson towards the boundary.
Yep.
But for the Waverley Blues, they're 8 minutes away from I would say, their biggest win of the season.
Yep.
if they can hold on here.
And what I like about Waverley Blues, they're still attacking.
Yep.
Although they got the lead, they're still attacking.
Yep, absolutely. As Walsh is kicking towards the middle of the ground. Be a big ball to be won and could be very telling if James can pick this one up. She just couldn't get away from her opposition in Sally Tran and will get a ball up. So not long left in this last quarter. Tap down one by McPherson. Watson doing well. Got her kick away in time. Gunn to Walsh. Walsh under pressure. Got her hands off in time. It was cut off by Carrig. This might be the chance. She might end up with the footy once more. No, Carrig socket off the ground. The vice captain under a bit of pressure in the middle of the ground here. Doing well. It was the Waverley Blues to hold it up through Gunn. Gunn out to Bishop. Bishop's got Sharp as an option if she chooses. And decides just to take some time off the clock, which is not a bad decision either. She finds a player open in the corridor. And they're happy to take this time through White. White inside 50. The bounce came off hands. Clearing kick for Heathmont. It's going to come straight back through Capamola. Capamola high kick in the Bishop direction. Great mark.
That's a mark,
It has been paid, so
yes.
Important one for the Jets.
Yeah, great mark. She punched the ball in the first contest and then marked it secondly. That was Neil. She's been a good player. Chipped it across to a teammate, just inside the centre square. They're gone to the outer side. 2-on-2 here. The ball's gone to in favour of Heathmont. Kicked off the ground, but stopped by Waverley Blues. A hand pass. Hayley Ferris has picked it up at centre half forward. Kicked it down. 2-on-1 here in Waverley Blues. 3-on-1 in Waverley Blues' favour, and they clear it out very easy. And are marked once again. They're just so dominant once it gets down into their back area.
Again, Ray, the fact that Heathmont's not on their opponent, it's really killing them on the field and on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you're right, Kate. Dead right.
So we're going to get a stoppage in the middle of the ground. 5:15:45, Waverley Blues. Heathmont 4-3-27. Got just over 5 minutes to play, and the Jets still need 3 goals just to tie things up. So the Waverley Blues are just about home now. Back in the middle of the ground. Is there any last roll of the dice to the Jets? This is probably it here.
Smothered
Ferris
by
did
Ferris.
well.
Yeah, smothered.
Kept it in front of herself. Going back there, Capamola doing nicely. Got the kick away in time, and that's a very good kick because it just
That's
keeps
the
them in
story of
possession.
the day, Ryan. They've kicked it out of a contest all the time, and there's been a loose man for Waverley Blues, and they just mark it, and off they go.
They've done extremely well. This is back 5 for the Waverley Blues towards the half-forward line. It's a high free kick going the way of the Jets. So Simpson towards the corridor. Mark is taken.
She's got no one to kick it to, though, down at centre half forward. Nobody
Molnar
at all.
can take a couple of bounces here. Her kick towards the half-forward flank. Came off hands. Running out the back here was Savage. Picked it up nicely. Came off the boot, off the sides, and now it gives just an opportunity there for Simpson to try and gain some territory. They're back inside 50, but they're not going to have enough time to win this game. They're still 3 goals down with 4 minutes to play.
Kate Green was right. All those forwards for Heathmont, they're coming too far up the field, and obviously they just kick it down there, and it's all Waverley Blues. Up it goes. The contest knocked down by to Heathmont. They've kicked it in, and what is that? A free kick. I think the umpire's called that the wrong way. It was a Waverley Blues player who's kicked. He changed his mind now. So a free kick will go to Heathmont in Simpson.
Yep.
Right on the boundary line. Off she goes. She kicked it to the corridor. Hamper kicked out to Ferris. Check side hasn't quite made the distance. A lot of players go for the contest or the mark. Nobody's got it. The umpire's calling for a ball up about 2 metres out between the goal post and the point post at the southern end of the ground. Up it goes now. Up they go, Heathmont. Missed kick there by Heathmont. They've got another chance, smothered by Waverley Blues. Gee, Waverley Blues, they're really doing well down there. They've done well to get out of that Waverley Blues. It was right in that danger zone.
So that moves the score now to 4-4-28. Heathmont 5-15-45, the Waverley Blues. What this does for the terms of the context of the season, it means Blackburn and Montrose will be a game ahead on top of the ladder. Heathmont in third, and Waverley Blues close the gap. They move one game closer to the Jets. So in terms of the top four as well, I think we're just about locked up. Going to be hard to see either of these sides missing. McPherson back inside 50. They still continue to fight hard in this last term, trying to get a couple goals back late. Picked off by Bishop. Ball comes back out. Stolen away off the right boot there from Sullivan. Has hit the post. So just a minor score, Ray. 4-5-29 the Jets. 5-15-45 Waverley Blues. The final 2 minutes of this game. And what's impressed you most about the Waverley Blues, Ray?
Just the way they get a player out in the open from the contest. Not all their players go to the contest. A couple stay out, and what happens is when it becomes congested, a hand pass comes out, and then off they go to the races. They're out in the clear.
Yeah, that's right. As the ball comes back out of the defensive half for the Waverley Blues. Looks like it's going to be held up just here, and we'll get a ball up on the far side of the ground. And, of course, a big result for the Waverley Blues. Beaconsfield are going to go down to Blackburn today, so they'll be a couple of games and percentage clear of 5th place, so they're very well consolidated inside the top 4. Ball comes back out on the far side, trying to break through the tackle there was Watson, who played in the under-18 girls last season, one of the stars for Heathmont certainly today. Fought hard as a ball back up on that far side of the ground. Handballed forward by the Jets, still fighting hard. They still want to get one back, but turned over. And James, who takes the intercept mark as we approach the final minute of this game. She'll look to use the corridor. Great mark there by Peacock, who is certainly one of the more experienced players in this lineup. And although she's only had the one goal today, she's had quite an impact. There's a ball back in the middle of the ground to be won here by Boa Smith. Got the handball off. The kick forward, that time by Sharp. Yep. Sharp's bouncing kick towards goal. Who's going to get there first? Chasing it for the Waverley Blues was Richards. Run down in the tackle by Watson. And a holding the ball free kick, Ray.
Yeah, they're holding the ball.
And it'll give them a chance to maybe get one back in on the final siren.
Simpson has the ball, free kick.
Had a
Injury
really good
update,
last
guys.
quarter.
Just a quick injury update. Valletta is still being assessed, and Sharp for Waverley Blues is off getting...
Simpson comes in, hits the post.
Hits the post.
Yeah, and Sharp for Waverley Blues is being attended to with a severe cramp in the calf.
Okay, thanks, Kate.
All good. Maletta will probably have further assessment.
Final siren, thanks, Kate. Final siren here at H.E Parker Reserve. Waverley Blues 5-15-45 have defeated the Jets 4-6-30. A 15-point win to the visitors. What a win it is for them. And certainly in terms of the context of the season, this is massive for the club. That's their biggest scalp.
Yeah, no, that's a great win to Waverley Blues. But on Heathmont, if they can take anything out of the game, they only allowed Waverley Blues to kick 2 points in the final quarter, and they kicked 1 goal 3 themselves. So that's a positive. But no, look, they've just got to tighten up. I think that's the main thing. They're not playing person on person. They're giving their opponents too much latitude. Plus, their forwards are coming too far up the ground. And what Waverley Blues did really well, their defence stayed back there. And when the kick was down there, they had 3 or 4 options. Yeah,
you're right. The defensive setup by the Waverley Blues is probably one of the more underrated aspects of this game. It was maybe something we, probably...
you probably underestimate it, because we talk about Waverley Blues' forward power and all that, but no, their defence today was very, very good.
And I believe Kate is going to grab one of the players. Your call, of course.
23, Hull with 2 goals.
And on a big game for her, it was her 50th game for the Waverley Blues today, and she played a really important role as she's been picked out for the interview. So Elise Hall, I don't know if she can hear us now. Elise,
I can hear you.
Congratulations. 50th game for you with the Waverley Blues, and a fantastic win for the side against a really good contender.
Yeah, I feel like it was pretty good. I think I was a little bit nervous going into it just after round 1. But, it was good. Good work by the girls.
Of course, against a very strong side in Heathmont. That first quarter was electric. You kicked the 4 goals with the wind and really set the game up. It must have been an exciting quarter.
Yeah, I think we were all pretty pumped after the first quarter, and I think we just played our footy and our style, and yeah, we have a good start, and it just sets the game for us, I think.
Elise, look, I love the way that your back six held their position all day long, and when Heathmont did move the ball forward, of course, you had options down there just to repel it back.
Yeah, I think we've got a really good, strong back line. We've got a strong forward, we've got a strong mid, and it just was our day.
Fantastic effort. Congratulations. We'll let you go and sing the song.
Thanks,
50th game for you. A big result. Congratulations. Thanks there to Elise Hall down at ground level. One of the key players for the side as the Waverley Blues will sing this song pretty loudly today, I reckon.
They will. Look, Waverley Blues, they had a lot of good players. You know, there was Peacock, there was James, there was Bishop, there was Sharp. You know, they were all really good players, you know, all did their team thing, and that's what you want down there.
I'll see if I can get the team song.
Just quietly, Ray, that's another tip for me in the tipping comp. I'm already...
Oh, hush, Ryan.
Kate, I'm already too far ahead. I've got another one up on everyone. Everyone else tipped the
You
Jets,
cheat.
So, just very smart tipping.
It's like
You
Spider.
cheat.
It's like Spider with the other one. Who cares?
Well, I don't know where Spider gets his tip from, but we might get the song down below us if the Waverley Blues get into the rooms. Down in the room for the Waverley Blues as they celebrate a very great win on the road. We can do votes, of course. Ray, if you had a 1, 2, 3, have you got a list? There's a lot of players. I'm actually struggling to put it into 3 votes.
There was a lot of players. As I said, look, Hull was very good. She was the best player on the ground, I thought. But as I said, you know, there was Bishop, there was Peacock, there was Sharp. There was so many good, Russell in and out of the game. So many good players for Waverley Blues. A great team effort. On the other side of thing, I thought that Heathmont had 3 very good players. I thought Lucinda Watson was their best player. I loved the way that Rachel McPherson went into the ruck and stopped the dominance of Waverley Blues. And the other one was Amelia Molnar. She had a lot of the football as well.
Yeah, she did. That's pretty much the players I would have mentioned there. I loved McPherson moving into the ruck, and that was an area that Waverley Blues were just dominating early on.
I know they got their main ruckman out, but that's another option they can use, you know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, a pretty key player that, I mean, I think last year was in the team of the year, usually plays up forward, can play a wide, multiple ranges of obviously roles. But that's it for us today. Ray, great to have you down for a senior women's game this weekend.
Thanks, Ryan. I really enjoyed it, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Great game out here at H.E Parker Reserve. Thanks to Megan Green, Kate Green. We've got a trip up to Berwick for this afternoon's clash between the Wickers and the Eagles. And right here in the senior women's match of the round, the Waverley Blues have won by 15 points.